Hey everyone, it's Corrine, and today I'm going to be making a mini album. So I thought I would just share with you the template that I came up with in order to make the mini album. And as much of it that I can fast forward through, I will. But I just want to show you what I'm doing here. This I'm using, excuse me, Laura from Following the Paper Trail binding system. So if the hinge binding system, she has a great tutorial on that. So that I'm using from her. And then I'm also using in the mini album a library pocket that I had seen Kathy Orta do quite a while ago. Besides that, I just made some templates here, pockets to go in on the hinges. And I've already cut most of it up, so let me just show you what I'm doing here. Put this aside. I left some so I could do on camera, but here's the hinge. I already got it all taped for time's sake, and the mats for inside. I've got 2 of the 3 library pockets made. So let's just get started here. Here is the paper that I'm using for the library pocket. And it's 6 1/4 by 11. I'm going to score it on the 11-inch side at 7 1/4. And then I'm going to score it a 1/2 inch on the 6 1/4 side. Let me grab my scoreboard here. So here's the 1/2 inch. I'm going to score it down a 1/2 inch on both sides. 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to flip it to the 11-inch side and score it at 7 1/4. Okay, and that's all the scoring I'm doing on this. Then what I want to do is miter the corners here, just so when it folds nicely. And I do these corners as well, right up to that score line. Just take out a little triangular piece there. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and score this one. These I want to score forward. Okay, so what I'm going to do when I fold it up, I'm going to glue it here and fold it there, and that's going to be one of the pockets. Okay. I'm going to use some Tombow Multi-Mono. I just ran out of my Scotch Quick Dry. Otherwise, that's my preferred method. Let's see here, it's a little clogged. This most likely will be a 2-part video. This one I'm just going to show the putting the book together, and then the next video will be putting the pattern paper on. Okay, so since that's not working, I'm going to go ahead and use hot glue. Got a little too much down there, but I'll just wipe that out. Okay, so now what I want to do, since I have the one pocket there, I want to fold these inward and give them a good crease. glue here I want to pick off. Let me make sure I have the right. I cut these last night, so. Okay, so I have a piece of paper here that's 7 1/4 by 5 1/4, and that I'm just going to go ahead and glue onto the back of this. So what I like to do is get it exactly where I want, make sure it's lined up. Okay, and then I'm going to glue both the sides down and the bottom. So I'm just going to hold it there, put some hot glue on it. And wait for that to set. Okay, now I'm going to add my hot glue to the bottom here to seal it up. Making sure that it is at the bottom. Because here's my pocket here, so this is going to be my bottom edge. And then I'm going to glue this side here. Okay, and then here's our library pockets with a pocket here and then a pocket at the top. So I've already made 2 of these, this being my 3rd one. And now I'm making pocket pages, is what I'm calling them, for the inside of the book. And I have an 8 1/2 by 5 1/4. Let me just double check. Like I said, I cut all this, pre-cut this last night. Yeah, 8 1/2 by 5 1/4. And then this should be 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. Okay, so what I want to do is grab my scoreboard again. Okay, and on the 5 1/4, actually I'm going to turn it in, on the 8 1/2, I'm going to score it at 5/8 on both sides. Okay, the 5/8 mark is the line right after the half mark. That's 5/8. So I'm going to score it at 5/8, flip it around, and on the line right after the half mark, score it again, 5/8. Set that aside. And then I'm going to go ahead and notch the top 2 corners as well, just a little bit. Okay. Fold those over and give them a good crease. And then I'm going to be putting this pocket on the back. Again, this is 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. So I'm going to do it exactly how I did the library pocket. I'm going to line it up. And I don't need to glue the bottom of it, being that the binding will hold the bottom together. So I just need to glue the sides to form the pocket. Use any glue that you're comfortable with. I normally use Scotch Quick Dry. You could use ATG, hot glue, anything that's going to hold paper to paper, which there's so many adhesives up there. So now we have a pocket here, and this will go onto our hinge, and that will hold it together. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting the book together. So I have everything labeled here to make it a little bit easier. I've made 6 pockets, 3 library pockets. Then I have, these are just 3 different pieces of 3 by 7 1/4, and they're going to glue onto the back of this to form another pocket. Okay, so I have 3 of those. And then these are mats to go inside these pocket pages that I've made. They'll slip inside here and sit like that on top. So those, I've made 3 of them. They are 8 1/2 long by 6 7/8, and they're scored at 4 1/4. So they're scored in half. And I believe I have, let me double check, I believe I have some other pockets, or mats here I should say. Yeah, I have 3 inside mats to go in the top of the library pockets, and they are 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. So I'm going to set all the mats aside for right now. And as I'm putting the book together, I'll go over again what I'm using. Okay, and here's the hinge that I've made. I'm going to go ahead and just miter these a little bit just to give them a clean edge, and hopefully it just hides the edges a little bit so they're not seen inside the book. I'm going to do that on all the corners. And I'm going to remove the tape. I'm only going to remove the tape on one side for now. Okay, and I'm just checking to make sure which is my top. Not that it really matters, but I mitered these corners, so I'd like these to be on top. I'm going to slip this on there and adhere it close to the score line, trying not to go over the score line. And this will adhere it shut. I'm going to take a little, it's a little tight there, so I'm just going to take a little bit off the end, probably on both ends, just a little tiny bit. Okay. And then once I'm happy with it, I'm going to go ahead and push this down. And then I'll remove the tape from the other side. I have 2 pieces, so I want to make sure to get the second piece as well. Okay, and I'll seal this one down. Okay, and the next one, I'm going to go ahead and do another pocket on this one. Slide that in. And I'm going to try and keep it even with the one behind it. Okay, and I'll press that down, remove the tape from the inside here. Where I got this idea was, as far as to make the pockets, was Kathy Orta's. She does the envelope style mini. But I really don't like using envelopes, so I was, as I shown in a previous video, I was making my own envelopes out of paper. Or maybe it's just the envelopes I was using, but they were very flimsy. And I like it to be, my book to be a little bit more sturdy. So I was making envelopes out of paper. Well, then I decided, you know, why add the extra bulk of the flap of the envelope? So I just did it with paper itself. But that's what inspired me originally to do this. Okay, so I have 2 pockets here, and I think on the back I'm going to add a pocket here. That way I can insert whatever I want there. So again, this is 3 by 7 1/4, which is the height of the book. So I'm just going to adhere it on the bottom and 3 sides. On pockets, I like to use a wet glue, simply because once it dries, you know, you can insert pockets or matting in there and not have to worry about it. Okay, let me make sure, yeah. Just going to line this up at the bottom here on the sides. Okay, I'm happy with that. Make sure the glue is set. Okay, and then on this hinge, I'm going to add one of the library pockets that we made, just by adhering it to the front. I don't want to adhere it to the back of the hinge, not that it really matters, but it will take away some of my space from the pocket here, so if I adhere it to the top, then I have full use of that pocket. So I'm just going to remove the tape from this side. I love making mini albums with tons of pockets. Gives more room for pictures and journaling spots and ephemera, whatever you want to put in it. Okay, so I'm going to adhere that down. And then on the back here, let's just give that a good crease. I'm going to go ahead and add another pocket this way. Being that it's being taped to the glue, I'm going to just add a small bead of glue right above the tape, just for the reason that I told you, that that way I make sure that whatever I put inside doesn't get stuck to the tape itself. Okay. Make sure the sides adhere down. Okay, so now I'm going to start the back on this side, the left side of my book. I'm going to start with a pocket. Again, checking which is, I've mitered the corners. I don't know if you can see that in there. So that'll be the top of it. I'm going to slide that on. Okay, and then on this side I'm going to do a library card on the front again. Okay, and then on the back of this I'm going to add another pocket this way. Okay, so I have one flap left. I'm trying to decide what I want to do here because what I have left is one pocket and two pockets and a library card. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put a pocket on one side and the library card on the other, and then I could make this into an additional pocket here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me just check which side is my top here. Kind of hard to see on this black paper. Okay, so this is the top. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it here, which means I need to put a little bit, I need to seal the bottom of this one. So I'm just going to put a small bit of glue right at the bottom here. Okay, so here we have the beginning of our book. This will be the front of it. We'll have a pocket here, a little side pocket here. If I can get my nails in it. And it'll open up to here. We'll have a pocket here and up here as well. Okay, this is the one where we have a pocket here and a pocket here. And then we have our library pocket here and here. Same on this side, library pocket. Little side pocket. Another little side pocket, and then our last pocket here. So when I come back, I will go ahead and cut all my paper, have that all ready, and I'll put it in fast play. So I hope you come back for part 2. Thanks for watching.